Hey, I'm Trent. Welcome back to Goose Creek Fly Fishing. If you're new here, thanks for stopping. If you're a return visitor, I really appreciate it. Thanks for your support. Tonight we're going to tie the Dark Tiger, which is an Bill Edson's fly. Earlier I tied the Light Tiger, which is another one of his streamer patterns. They're fairly old patterns, but they're still super effective today as they were back then. Some of their popularity may have waned, but in the Northeast and Maine, where Bill was from, I think they're still pretty popular to use. If you're from there and I'm wrong, let me know. Post below. So tonight I'm going to be using. If you look on the internet, you'll see a lot of different looks to this pattern and the recipe on how to tie it. I'm actually using my book Streamers and Bucktails, and this is by Joseph Bates, and the recipe that's in here says as tied by the originator. So I have a sneaky suspicion Joe Bates and Bill Edson, their lives overlapped quite a bit, so he may have just reached out to him directly and asked him how to tie the fly. So how I'm tying it is exactly how it's tied in the book, with one minor suggestion, or one minor area that I point out during the tie. So sit back, enjoy yourself, and let's get into the tie. Alright, I went ahead and put the hook in the vise, and excuse me, the hook we're using tonight is a TMC size 8, I believe it is. So I've just got some yellow thread, and this is just some 8/0 that I'm using, and I'm just gonna make my wraps, moving down, putting down a thread base. So we'll just come on down. We're gonna start this fly. This is an older pattern, so it's going to have a tag on it, as those old patterns did. So we're going to come right back here. I want this thread I want the fly to start right there at the barb of the hook. So go ahead and put this in, and I have excuse me, I have in one of my fly tie manuals, I actually have the recipe from Mr. Edson, Bill Edson, that came up with this pattern. So that is what I'm using to tie this with. I will make one adjustment towards the end, but other than that, it'll be the pattern right out of the book. So it says 3 to 4 turns of a narrow gold tinsel. So I'm just going to put 4 turns in right there. Just come up, capture that, give some good wraps. Just hold that down. So the next thing we'll do is we're going to put in the tail, and in his instructions he says to use 2 small yellow hackles and tie them back to back so that you get a little bit of a V. You see that? So we're just going to come in, place those right where we want them. Now I'm doing a pretty tight pinch wrap, holding that material steady. I'm just going to go forward, bound down those fibers, just like so. Then we come back. Now putting in a really nice tight wrap here, it'll cause that feather to want to flare up just a touch, which is the look I'm going for. We can see that it's got a little bit of a divide there, so we'll get a good movement in the water. The body of this fly is just a yellow chenille. So I'm just going to clip off a section. Excuse me. Uncord it a little bit. And the chenille I have, I think it's got a little bit of a flash in it, which probably isn't original to what he would have used, but it's what I have available. So, like always, I just peeled off a little bit of that chenille really to remove the fuzz so I can see the cordage. I got just a little too much thread out. So I wanted to work with me. So here we go. We'll just come in on the side. So I'm just spinning the thread counterclockwise. See how it's gonna kind of goes back a little bit. Allows me to catch everything. Tie that in really good. It's nice tight wraps. Then we can just race the thread all the way up. Back here, we're just going to make nice touching wraps as we move forward with the chenille. So Bill Edson, this was a really popular fly, 80 years ago. But I think it's still got some popularity in the Maine, northeast area where it originated, as it should. It's a great fly, and it still catches fish, So this is called the Dark Edson. He had a Dark Tiger and a Light Tiger. So if you go back and look at my history, you'll find the Dark Tiger I tied earlier. So the next thing we'll do is, for the wing, he says to use the brown hair off of a yellow dyed bucktail. So that's this area. So if you take that natural bucktail, and this would be white and this would be brown, and then you dye it, then you kind of get this goldeny brown color here. So that's what we're going to use for the wing. And we're not going to stack it because we want it to look natural and have different feather point or end points and other things to it. So I'm going to go ahead, clip that off. Just like so. And we'll pull out our comb. And we'll comb that out, get all that under fur out of there. And then it actually says in the instructions from Bill, he makes a note to say, tie it a little short so it doesn't foul and get caught up underneath the hook. So we're going to put it right about there. You notice that wing is pretty sparse. I don't like a big heavy wing when I tie these because, well, it makes it bulky and harder to cast, wind resistant, and all kinds of issues. See, it's all right there, and I'm just going to push down on my thumb a little bit just to flatten it just ever so slightly. Come up, clip off that remainder hair. just come in and tighten that up. Just like so. So the next thing we'll do is we're going to put in the throat. And the throat, you just want 2 small red hackles like this. In fact, that's a little too big. Just cleaning them up. And just roll this over. Just capture those underneath. Just like so. That's what we're looking for. Now, in the original, Bill used jungle cock eyes to come back and put an eye in there. But later in his life, Bill came up with these brass eyes that are actually called Edson brass eyes. And that is what I'm going to use tonight. So I'll show you what they look like. This is one here. They kind of look like little brass spoons, you know. And you can put them on there. And I'm gonna clip this off and get it ready to go. So we'll need 2 of them, 1 for each side. We'll just come in, kind of see where we want it, right about there. I think Bill came up with these because at the time, jungle cock eyes were difficult to come across and they were expensive, not unlike today. So I had the opportunity to buy some of these eyes years ago. So I think I picked up a couple bags of 50. And whenever I want to tie his patterns and make them look original, I can. So there is just cleaning up the head a little bit. Last but not least, we will hit this with the whip finisher. A little bit of head cement. We will be done. So this is Bill Edson's, and this is the Dark Tiger. And it's called the Dark Tiger because the Light Tiger actually is a dark body but has a white wing. So this is his fly. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you enjoy these type of flies, you know, hit that like or subscribe. I would appreciate it. And Until next time, I will see you around the vise.